Ooh, welcome back guys, it's Raw Geek here. Yes, this is a video series about how to, or at least how I made a retro console. So it's going to be a few videos like me sort of taking apart a SNES, painting it, that sort of stuff, and getting a Raspberry Pi board in there and making ROMs work. So if you wanted to make your own, these videos might give you some sort of like help or inspiration. And if not, hopefully you just enjoy them, because why not? Get a cup of tea and have a little watch. Now, obviously, you probably noticed quite a lot of companies are releasing classic consoles now. Most recent one will be the Sony PlayStation Classic console. And they're pretty cool. I picked up the SNES before, and I'm getting the PlayStation Classic. I might sell it eventually, but checking it out to start with, because it is pretty cool. But they are quite pricey, and they are very limited in games. Now, these classic consoles are mostly an attempt to keep hold of their IP, so they can say that the games aren't abandoned, and you shouldn't be playing ROMs and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, the problem is they just don't give you enough games, and we want to play the games. Now, the legality of emulators and ROMs is all a bit of a grey area. Some people are in the camp, such as I, where if you have the original copy of the game, then what is the harm of having a virtual copy playing it on your PC or another emulator like that? But then people like Nintendo, quite a big company, would have you believe and are trying to force the issue that any ROM at all is illegal. Doesn't matter if you've got the original game or not, it's illegal. Personally, I think that's wrong, and it's not good that you then would just have all these old amazing games abandoned. Like, if there's no easy way to play them, that's not good, right? They're just gonna become history. It's not that easy to get hold of an old console that works, the old original games. Just let us play them as virtual copies. But because of the grey area, and Nintendo, for example, I can't urge you to play ROMs at all. If you are going to do it, at least make sure you have the original copy of the game. And that being said, let's dive in. So guys, I'm on my way to my friend's house because I'm gonna spray up a SNES console, spray it black, because I'm going to put my retro Pi inside. Now, there's loads of ways now to play retro games. You can get like the NES Classic Mini or whatever, and the SNES one's coming out, or might be out by the time this video's up, and you can get them sort of hacked or whatever, so you can play ROMs and things like that. The other way of doing it is having, for example, a Raspberry Pi where you run the system called RetroPie, and it uses emulators, and you can have ROMs on there. But yeah, you can get ready-made RetroPie little black consoles or whatever. There's ways of doing it already, but I want to put it in a SNES console because I think it'll be pretty cool. What I would recommend is, if you're going to source a SNES console because you want to use that or a different type of console, and you want to put a retro Pi inside of it via a Raspberry Pi board, then try and look for one which is broken. Not broken as in, you want the shell intact as much as possible, but you don't want to pay a load of money for a really good working one and then rip to pieces. That wouldn't make much sense. So if you can get one, or you've already got hold of one that's a bit yellow or whatever, or it doesn't really work very well, but the shell is fairly intact, then there's a couple of ways you can do things with it, and I'm going to show you some. Personally, I want my TV entertainment unit to have all black consoles because I've got the PS4. I'm going to get the Xbox One X, and the Virgin box for cable is black, and it would look cool, doing it that way. So guys, I'm at my friends. We've got some goodies on the table, and I'll briefly run through some of what I've got and why I've got it and what you might need. And anything I forget, I'll tell you later on, basically. We've got a couple of SNESs. And as you can see, they get a bit yellow after time, like that. There is something you can do with that with bleach. I'll talk about that another time. We're going to spray ours. Got some little LEDs so that I can hopefully keep like a power light going on there. This is the Raspberry Pi. It's like the newest one out. And again, I'll put in the description everything what it is. As you can see, it's got USB ports. So what we're going to do is I want to keep the original style ports for the controllers, so the front doesn't look completely different. So we've got these things. They're from China, I expect. Got them on eBay. As you can see, the USB. So they'll plug into there. I'm going to somehow fit them at the front of the console so you can use it like normal. These are cables, USB micro extenders, which hopefully going to get probably on the back and fit it in somehow so that it can be powered up, always on. And that's just a plug for that power, as you can see, micro USB. You'll need a Sandisk of some description to put your ROMs on there. Not that you'll do that because it's illegal, obviously. So don't listen to that bit. And then what else? Oh yeah, you need some of these. These are like, I can't remember what they're called, but like the weird sort of star shape screwdrivers to undo parts on the SNES consoles, because it's a bit weird like that. And then got some USB extenders as well, and that's in case I want to put an extra memory stick in there to download some new games to the Sandisk without having to take the whole thing out. And that's about all you need for this part of it. Like I say, you might need a few bits more later on, but that's about it. For some reason we've got a HDMI extender, I'm not too sure why. Oh yes, this will go like that, so it'll be at the back. I'm going to try and get it on the hole, obviously, and this connects to the Raspberry Pi, so we can have HDMI out. So this is one that's open and been stripped out. As you can see, this is where the power switch goes. I'm going to try and see if we can make use of that on the board in some way, but it might be that it's just like always on. It just depends. You need to run like a switch program, I think, to try and get the RetroPie to be on from a switch like that. So we might try and do that. Just like that's where the power goes. That's obviously for that bit there. We'll probably have to maybe modify that or make our own or something. Not too sure. And then for obviously you've got the switch there. The eject button will probably just hot glue it in or something like that, so it stays in. Most likely we'll never use that. There's no real reason to put something in there, but you could put a custom cartridge in there with your own logo on or something if you wanted to. Like I say, this is obviously attached to that. And the reset button probably won't use, depends, it just depends basically. So these screwdrivers, special ones, go into the corners. Anyway, you can see these weird looking screws, because I don't want just anyone to get into it. Oh, by the way, that's the inside of a SNES cartridge. That's the game. You put that in, it would work. So screws are coming out of those corners, which I showed you. Watch those corners. Check those corners. So that's where the current LED is, and obviously this board's going to have to come out, which is why I can hopefully have one there instead. That's obviously the eject bit and that kind of stuff, and this is just all going to come out because we're going to have, you know, the RetroPie or the Raspberry Pi, whatever you want to say, there. However we can install it. Doubt we use any of these mounting frames, or we just have this whole thing probably come out. But like, the main important thing is the shell, and you don't want anything rattling. As long as you don't have things rattling inside and they're somehow put down, and you've got a shell which is intact, then that's what matters really. And these mounting plates covering up the chips and everything like that, you can see they're just normal Phillips screwdriver or screws. So yeah, once you're inside the console, it doesn't matter too much, just need some normal stuff. That's the eject part being pried out. Hello. Don't need that no more. And that's the board, main board, motherboard. Oh look, Nintendo. And again, that just screws out. And obviously you want to clean up the console inside and out a bit. Use some, what is it, like isopropyl alcohol wipes or whatever they call it, or just some. If you go to KFC, they give you some, don't they? Some hand wipes, you can use them. Yeah, we're going to obviously clean that up.
before we do anything with it. Like I say, I'm going to spray mine, or we're both going to spray ours black, but there is a way to bleach it. Basically, to bleach it, you have to get a washing up bowl or bucket big enough to hold a whole console submerged, obviously once you strip things out, and you put it in with some bleach, some, what is it, food grade, what was it, bleach? I'll show you in a minute what bleach is, and you leave it in the sun for several hours and it makes it go, hopefully, a nicer colour, get rid of some of this yellowness that goes on, so you can make them look a bit fresher. So yeah, it's just your standard hydrogen peroxide, but it's the 12% version, food grade. You don't want to, like, that's the one you basically want to use if you were going to do that. Stronger, probably strip away lead plastic. Weaker wouldn't do anything. But just be careful if you're ever going to use this stuff, guys. Make sure you follow the instructions and don't just sort of dump it all over your body, and cause that probably wouldn't be too good. So the buttons all just clip out. There's little wings on them. So you just push those in a bit until they come out of the holes. It's all pretty obvious, guys. And that's it, completely stripped down. Panel comes off by itself, which is good because then you don't have to worry about spraying in the LED if you were going to leave it in there. But like I say, we're not going to use it. But oh, where is the? So this little piece here, which I'm talking about, is what goes in there. So when you spray this, that's fine. Just make sure this bit's out. Or if you weren't going to spray it, doesn't matter so much. But obviously you don't want to colour that in because otherwise you won't see the light very well, and that just fits in there. So yeah, I'm going to spray, I think, this gloss. I think I might spray this gloss as well, and the rest matte. And I think my mate's going to just do it all matte. So we'll see how that looks. Make sure you're using a box or something, guys, because obviously you don't want to ruin everything. So guys, because me and my friend are the sort of guys that have loads of things, loads of knickknacks, cables, you name it, we seem to have it. We found, it's fine mate, thanks. Cut. We found some isopropyl alcohol, so we can actually rub it down with that, which is, well, it's amazing really. By the way guys, it's open, be careful. Thanks. Yeah, so we're going to just rub the mothers out of them for a bit. And yeah, we'll cut back when we're sort of finished. So guys, at the back of the console, this is the bracket that fits here. So, because obviously the holes are in the right place already, it'd be nice to try and use that. Now, the things that need to go into this are the power. And to do that, obviously it plugs in like that. And that's micro USB, and I can't find the end of it, which is there, thank you. And this part will plug into the Pi, and I got these on eBay, so you find them, like I say, I can put links and that kind of stuff. Got this bit, I'm going to have to probably cut these bits down, but they will fit ideally onto that back panel here somewhere. And also the extender for the HDMI changes it from male to female, which is hidden from view here. That bit will plug into the Pi. This bit will be on the back port, so you can plug it into your TV. And again, we're going to get that fitting into the back panel some way. Probably have to buy some black plastic. I mean, it almost fits already in that bit. We could probably glue that in. Might have to make a hole slightly bigger for this bit, but I think we'd be able to hopefully use it, and then we can use that back panel, which would be good. So we got the small length so that it can plug in there, and it just about fits quite well actually with the Retro Pi, well, the Raspberry Pi board currently, which will fix somehow to the base. You could use sort of like the little bolt separator things you get when you get a motherboard, which keep them above. I think we may even just use some sort of putty plastic sort of stuff to keep it in, because it just has to not move too much, to be honest. It depends how far you want to go with it, but I mean that would be good enough for us. The only thing we might have a bit of problem with is trying to get those USBs around that little corner bit. I think just about could do it if you cut those bits off. Yeah, we could probably do it. So yeah, it's just managing your space basically. I don't think two of those can fit together, can they? I think, guys, that this is going to be a bit too large, like I say. So we're probably going to undo the screws, take this light grey bit off, and just keep the dark grey and whatever electronics are inside that are needed. And then they should then just fit into the original panel by just taking that bit off. And then we can just hot glue it, super glue it, whatever, to this panel, and then it all looks original. Well, close to. So I'm going to do gloss on these two panels.
We'll do that in gloss?
Yeah, one of them, might as well. So on a few little bits I'm going to do gloss, and the rest I'm going to do matte, and mate's going to do all matte, and we'll see which one is going to sort of look the best. You can always change your mind. Do make sure you do this outside. Hey there, fishies. Feeding time, buddies. Yeah, sanding might be a good idea. Some of the bits. Hey guys, I'd recommend sanding bits a little bit. Only like a really, like glass paper, really. So guys, glossing it up. I've just decided to do it all gloss, and then we're going to do one all matte and see what they look like, see if there's much difference or whatever. So it's looking pretty shiny. It's all dry. Yeah. So that's it all in gloss, and it doesn't look like too over gloss. I think it's, you know, I don't think the way the matte's drying is that much different. Obviously it's a little bit different, but I don't think it's a bad choice to do all gloss, to be honest. So I think I'll keep it like that. We're going to finish off the matte ones, just sanding down a few of the bits so the paint goes on better, and anywhere it's raised from writing goes off better. Like you see, trying to get rid of most of the writing there best you can. And yeah, I'm going to get them all matted up. Right, so if you decide to paint your SNES like I have, or we have, this is roughly how you put it back together. We're not experts, but we kind of work it out. And if it does go horribly wrong and you sort of smudge stuff, give it another coat of paint, can you, if you want to. But it's best to paint each bit individually if you can, don't want things getting stuck. So you need the little plastic thing where the LED is going to go underneath, and then you put this front panel on. There's little clips there, that's all fine. And the spring bit for the eject, if you're keeping it like this, needs to go in like that, and it needs to be held down as you put it together, which is a bit annoying. But that clip comes out, so that hole is perfect for the power button, which has the little extra bit on top, which fits there. And this is the reset button, and it's just got two clips, two like flaps on the side. They just clip in, just push it down until it works. That. And then the eject button, which we're not going to use. It's the reset button, actually, isn't it? No, it's the eject button. Yeah, goes in that panel there, and this whole thing then goes. The bottom three clips first, fit onto it, fit in these holes, and then once you get it down, that bit held off. Then these bits just snap in with a little push. They're quite easy, really. Just make sure it's all pushed in. Some, you know, work from the bottom to the top, because some want others plugged in first. Don't want to snap anything. Push some places, and that's the front panel reassembled. And it will go on to here. This bit obviously is the player 1, player 2 section. Literally just slides in like that. This bit goes on the top, and that's a nice cheap ass looking console. That looks pretty good, actually. It's just going to go on my TV unit, but it's just better that it's now black, and it just differentiates it from being a SNES in some way. Like I say, you don't have to colour it in, it's just that I want mine all black. because I just want them all to match. But you can do whatever you want. You can paint it red, don't paint it at all, use different console. Just what your preference is, basically. But I'm really annoyed, guys, because his looks so much better than mine. I don't think it's the paint job as such, I think it's just the colour of the paint. The matte black looks like it's like carbon fibre, and I just think the matte does look a lot better. I mean, some of the paint job is not great, but like a lot of it's just the texture of the actual old SNES, you can't do much about that. But the matte just finishes better. So guys, I was jealous, so I decided to make mine matte as well. So it looks like that now. Kept the bottom gloss because it doesn't really make much difference. It kind of looks a bit cool when it's slightly different colour. A lot of consoles do that anyway. Yeah, the top looks matte. So yeah, pretty happy with that. The next time we're going to be trying to work out how to put the bits and bobs inside of it. And then there'll be the last bit probably of how to use the Retro Pi, like emulator, put the ROMs on, that kind of thing. Try and get it all sorted out and playing and add it to my TV entertainment unit. So I've undone this, which is one of these, and it fits absolutely flush, lovely, looks genuine. So we're just going to glue that in, and that'll be good to go. That's player one's, and it just goes to a little board. It's got a little LED on it as well, which you don't need, but it's got it if you want it, and that'll be plugged into the Raspberry Pi. I like your hands, mate. They look really good.
Can you edit them out of the video?
I can do a chroma key on the black, but then you won't be able to see what you're holding either. You'll just see nothing. So guys, yeah, moving along a little bit with the hardware setup. As you can see, or as you just saw, we were gluing these USB extending to genuine SNES ports on the front, so that we can obviously USB it to the Raspberry Pi, because that's what it takes in. So we did that, it's all glued in, it looks really good. I'll show you now. So that's how these two bits go in, and as you can see, we've USB'd them into the board, and the board fits here really nicely. In fact, this is the HDMI, and we're thinking putting a hole here to have HDMI there, keeping this board here. Probably actually going to use hook and loop Velcro to keep the board in, because the memory card goes underneath it. So if we were to put it in too hard, it'd be a bit annoying, and it fits there really well, and it's not even moving already. So just a bit of hook and loop Velcro, double-sided tape on it. So if you want to change the memory card for whatever reason, you can just take it off. The power is in as well, and the power goes to this bit. We're just going to chop these ends off and just make a hole that size in this plastic. So that goes there as well, and then the back plate will get coloured in, or be just completely blacked off with some extra plastic. So it's in at the moment. So we could just use some black plastic just to hot glue it on there, just so it's flush, you can't see it anymore, and we're making our own holes for the connection ports. But as you can see, it fits in there really well, and it's not going to move anywhere once we've sorted it all out. And then we just do the software part of it, and then, well, I'll have my console, retro console.
So yeah, that showed you us painting the consoles, getting them sort of ready aesthetically. Also worked out roughly where the bits are going to go inside and where the ports are going to go out the end and all that kind of stuff. Now I will touch upon this again later, but those sort of USB, like the SNES to USB control things that we were going to use, they didn't work out in the end. But yeah, more on that another time. So anyway guys, I hope you liked that. There are going to be another 3 videos in this series, so stay tuned for those. And that about do it. So guys, if you like that, please click like, make sure you're subscribed for more videos like this, and I'll see you on the next video. And until then, remember, spray paint responsibly. Okay, bye. Guys, if you're still here, you're awesome! But as you are still here, why not check out some of my other videos? Oh, and if you haven't already, please click subscribe. Laters, haters.